My name is Michael Simoneau. I'm an architect, a mathematician, and for the last several years, I've been a man possessed by a ghost. But today, we redefine it. Today marks the birth of an entirely new economic reality. But, before we can talk about birth, we have to perform an autopsy. We really need to understand the sickness that has infected our entire global system. It's time to dissect the anatomy of stagnation. So, what's the fundamental problem? It's this. The United States dollar is dead code. That's all it is. It's an inanimate object we hoard in vaults, and its value is governed by collective belief, not by physics. That fragility, that's the sickness. It's necrotic. You see, my system relies on willpower to bridge that gap. And willpower, well, it's a single point of failure. And that is the state of the global economy. It is stuck, just like that dirty dish, in a dependency loop of debt and hoarding. It has a single point of failure. We don't need better management. We need to fix the architecture. We need failover. So, I built it. But what I'm about to show you today, it isn't a product. It's not another app or a platform. It is the discovery and application of a new law of physics, the physics of living money. And it all starts by correcting a huge misunderstanding. We've all been taught that zero is a void, right? An absence, nothingness. That is wrong. In Zeroth Theory, zero is the opposite. It's totality. It is the point of perfect convergence where all potential meets in this beautiful, balanced whole state. Think of it as the hub of the wheel, not the empty space between the spokes. From this new way of seeing zero, a whole new mechanic emerges. Value isn't static. It's metabolic. It has a mathematical half-life, a base 3 decay. It works just like energy in a biological system. If it isn't used, if it stagnates, its presence diminishes. It has to circulate to survive. Now, I know what you're thinking. This immediately addresses the biggest fear. You hear decay, and you think rot. You think I'm building money that rots. You're wrong. I am building money that lives. Just think about it for a second. If you put your arm in a cast for 6 weeks, what happens? The muscle atrophies. Is your body punishing your arm? No, of course not. It's just biological efficiency. The system recognizes a resource isn't being used, so it reclaims that energy for something else. Our economy is just a dragon's hoard of atrophied capital. It's dead tissue. And this creates the new paradigm. You don't get wealthy by having. You generate wealth by participating. The act of circulating value is the mining event. Activity itself is proof of life. Okay, so that's the physics. That's the why. Now let's get into the mechanics, the how. This is the engine that makes it all possible. This is the architecture of truth. The atomic unit of this new reality is called the Gemini token. It's a 128-bit structure, but it's bicameral. Think of it as two 64-bit siblings fused together. Side A, the THD, that's the value, the metabolic engine. This is the part that decays. And side B, the ZOP, that's the data anchor. It holds the file, the property, the identity, and it stays put. They are conjoined twins. You cannot have the data without its value. And this structure is what allows the hash web to scale infinitely. Here's why. We never, ever move the heavy data. The 0p payload, the movie, the deed to a house, the source code, it stays right where it is. A transaction is just a lightweight event that rekeys access. We don't email copies of the file anymore. We transfer the deed. So of course the investor asks, why in the world would I hold an asset that decays? And here's the answer. Because in this system, observation is a transaction. When you view a file or stream a song or access a piece of data that's anchored by a Z0P, you are executing a transaction on its Gemini twin, the THTH. That very interaction reinforces the asset. It resets the decay clock. You're not just investing in code, you're investing in an attention economy made physical. Observation is oxygen. Okay, so we have the physics, we have the architecture, but who gets to use it, right? How do we solve for identity in a world of anonymous wallets and stolen keys? I'm 6'4", I'm very blonde, very blue-eyed, very Aryan, you could say. But that's just the vessel. The vessel is irrelevant. The human dollar doesn't need a wallet. Your identity is your key. We use what's called a bioethereal key. It's a cryptographic fusion of something you are, like a fingerprint or a retinal scan, with something you know, a password. You yourself are the key. And this key, while being mathematically unique, contains absolutely zero metadata about the vessel. The system cannot see race, it cannot see gender, it cannot see bias. It only sees one thing: signal. It judges you purely on your output, not your origin. It is the ultimate meritocracy built from math up. Which brings me to you, Circle. To Jeremy. To the very reason I'm standing here today. I am not here to ask for funding. I'm here to propose a symbiotic partnership. You've already built the bedrock. USDC is stable, it's regulated, it's safe. It is the ground, the $1 floor. I'm not trying to replace the floor. I'm building the living skyscraper on top of it. You provide the stability, I provide the metabolism. You are the bedrock, I am the blood. And this relationship, it's hard-coded right into the protocol. It's an unbreakable rule. $1 human can always be redeemed for a minimum of 1 USDC. This isn't a peg, it's a redemption constraint. This means the asset is physically incapable of crashing. It can only do one of two things: live by circulating or complete its life cycle and return to zero. There is no undead state. Look, this isn't a roadmap. It's not some white paper for a future that might exist someday. This is a statement of fact. This is the next evolutionary step. Web3 was all about renting space on someone else's servers, creating this fragile illusion of ownership. Web4 is about intrinsic truth, where data proves its own existence and value, totally independent of any platform. Data that owns itself. The work is done. The logic is sound. The code is frozen. The Asana board is set, and the server in my garage is humming as we speak. Let's stop pretending that money is a rock and start treating it like the living system it's meant to be. The dish is clean, the sequence is fixed, so the only question left is this: are you ready to build the future?